All right, welcome back, PALS TV, everyone. Next, we're going to be heading down to Gallia County and joining Brooke, who's been doing fantastic segments for us and having some social time on our Fridays. Started out with some tips to do at home, and then past couple weeks we've been doing interviews, and that's been a lot of fun. So hopefully today we can get through a little bit more than the 3 questions I was able to get through. Brooke does a tremendous job, so I hope she's able to ask Mike all the questions she had said. And then also, if you had any questions as well, I know Mike would love to hear from you. And, please feel free to either put it in the chat, or I think we'll be able to unmute you here soon. So live from Gallia County, we have Brooke, and then you can see right behind me, there's the picture, our very own Michael Piro. So can't wait for this one. Thanks, Brooke.
All right, thank you guys. Well, welcome to our social chat time, and I really enjoy getting to know the PALS executive team, and so today is really special because we are interviewing Michael Piro. Okay, so Mike.
I'm honored.
I'm so excited because I don't really know you very well. So this is exciting for me to get to actually really dive in and find out. So tell me a little bit about yourself, about your family, and then your role with PALS.
Okay. Well, first I want to say I'm super honored to be on here and seeing all these friendly faces. I miss all you guys so very much. There's so many of you guys that I get to stop by and see once every week or so. So not being able to see is tough, but this is awesome. Also, I want to say everything that Dave says about me, Brooke, is not true. Okay. So we're only going to talk about the good stuff today.
Understood. No, got it. All good things.
So my role at PALS, my official title is the Chief Operating Officer. So I work very closely with the program directors and the ISCs to make sure that the supports and the activities are that we are providing to our individuals go off without a hitch, and that we are providing those meaningful opportunities. So, I would say a lot of the vision of PALS somehow comes through my crazy mind, and then I employ my team to make it come to fruition. So that's, in a nutshell, that's my PALS mission.
Okay. So tell us about where you are, where are you located, and a little bit about yourself, just how you got in touch with PALS.
Okay. So right now I'm at home in Western Pennsylvania in Pittsburgh. You guys know I travel a ton into Ohio, so I got a lot of miles on my car back and forth. My journey with PALS, let's just talk about my journey with the field. So when I was in college, I wrestled for a small school called Capital, and my brother actually was working for a provider called REM, and I just needed money. Actually, funny story is, it was Christmas time. I called my dad for money, and he hung up on me. He told me to get a job. So there are a couple things in my life that have molded me. That is definitely A1, number one. So I called him back and said, "Did you really hang up on me?" And he hung up on me again. So I had to get a job. Yes. So my brother got me a job working overnights with 2 individuals in Columbus, and the home was 3 blocks from my campus. So it was perfect. I'd go at night, hang out with the 2 folks who were awesome. Aaron actually worked with those folks as well. And then I'd go over to class. So I did that for a while, and I fell in love with the individual. I mean, there's nothing better than getting to hang out and share your likes and interests with our folks. I mean, I'm looking at Alex Jan. Alex Jan and I used to go jet skiing together. That was our day, right? Yeah, you remember that. I mean, Alex, that was our day at another program we were at. We used to go jet skiing. It was awesome. So anyways, being able to share that was, I really enjoyed that, and I found great gratitude out of that. So once I graduated college, I took a home manager position. And that is when Aaron started to jump on board with me at the same company. So I took a home manager position, and Aaron took my old position as the overnight staff.
So were you Aaron's boss?
So I was Aaron's boss for quite some time, but not really, because he called off a lot on me.
Uh-oh.
Ask him about New Year's Eve.
Oh no.
So yeah, so Aaron and I followed the same, very similar paths. So I graduated from college. I also became a program director. At that point, I got into the administration of working with residential programs. And then from there, I would say I got burned out a little bit from the field.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the residential world's kind of tough. So I left the field and went into sales. I went into sales for a summer. I was selling bathtubs. It was the worst experience of my absolute life. But it was the best experience that I needed, because I knew at that point that I knew what I wanted to do. I missed connecting with the folks. I missed being able to provide the supports. I missed the vision. So at that time, day program was it was a fairly new concept in regards to private providers being able to do it. It was mostly run by the county boards. So I had the opportunity to work with 2 investors out of Minnesota and start a program in Worthington. And I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I knew about the field. I knew what I loved. But it was the perfect combination of being able to provide my likes and interests and my management experience that I had received from REM, and just try to put something together. So they gave me an opportunity. I literally had 1 building, 1 person, and they said, start a day program. I'm like, okay. From that, you know, I said, what do I know? Like, what can I attract? What can I teach people? And basically it's health and fitness. I'm a super active person. You know, I'm always working out. I'm always involved, coaching, whatever. So I did a adapted physical fitness program, and that program flourished from 1 individual, 1 room, to 70, 80 people per day in a huge 15,000 foot adapted physical fitness center. That program actually still exists today. In addition, well, once we started that, those owners sent me down to Kentucky, and I had the opportunity to open up 4 programs down there with a very similar spin and feel. So the combination of being able to teach our folks and allow them to explore and sharing the same interests has always been a passion. So, you know, when Alex and I get to go jet skiing for our day, you know, that, I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. When we get to set up the Kings Island trip and folks get to go and ride a roller coaster for the first time ever, you can't beat that. You know, nothing beats those kind of moments. So that was my journey, and that's, you know, why we continue to do what we do today, to provide those unimaginable opportunities.
Yes. Wow. So what a neat journey, because then you've really done every facet of working in this field. And we all go back to what Aaron says. It's really about the people. You love what you do because you love seeing people come alive and what they're doing and giving them opportunities that are just like you broke through the glass ceiling of things.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So how has your job or life changed during quarantine? We know that you miss seeing people, but how have things changed for you? What do you miss maybe out of that? And what do you look forward to going back into?
Well, I'm a people person, so I definitely miss the human connection.
Yes.
You know, and I think the biggest change is not as much travel. I haven't got to actually travel into Ohio since end of February.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was used to being on the road every week, whether I'm driving down to Gallia to hang out for a couple of days, or Columbus or Heath or wherever. And I really enjoy that. People always ask me, like, how do you do that? How do you drive to Columbus? How do you drive to Heath? I enjoy it. I love going down to the programs, hanging out with the people, seeing what's going on, just touching every program. And to be able to bring that to me is, I mean, it's the pinnacle of my career. There's nothing better that I can think of doing than to be able to go to a program and just see it flourish and see the people.
Well, obviously that's a really important part of your job, because you said a lot of what you do is to make sure that, you know, the ISCs and the programs that whatever we're offering is top notch and is flourishing and serving everyone really well. So I like that you're not hands off, right? You're not sitting in some office somewhere and just assuming that things are getting done. You're like, I'll make sure they're getting done and we'll see how everyone's doing and giving the best that you can. So that's awesome that you love them so much. You want to make sure that they are getting best services.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ongoing joke with me is you never know where you're going to find me. My office is my book bag. I've been asked, you want an office? I don't want an office. Even in my prior programs, I never had an office. It's just not how I operate. I want to be out. I want to be active. I want to be engaged. I want to make sure our folks are receiving the best supports possible. And you can't do that sitting complacent. So that's definitely been the hardest.
Yes. So what is maybe your favorite part, since you've done every part of the job? So what would you say is your favorite part of a program?
My favorite part of a program. Oh goodness, there's so many. You know, I'd say my favorite job in the program was being a program director. Having that.
And why is that?
Well, because you're there, you know, you have that direct influence. You're there day to day. And I went on activities constantly. So being able to have that direct touch was definitely my favorite part. Being able to have influence in seeing folks' mood and demeanor change just because of what you've brought to them that's amazing. I mean, there are times that I remember, you know, individuals walking off the bus, you know, when I was a program director, and, you know, they're excited. They're like, yo, what are we doing today?
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing better than that. Like, what are we doing today? You know, so that excitement is infectious. So bringing that energy was definitely my favorite. It's a little different now in my role because I'm not directly involved, and I wish I can go on activities. But I've learned, just kind of like in sports, I went from actually being the athlete to coaching the athlete.
Right. Yes.
I've learned to live vicariously through my program directors. So you know, I look at Dave. You know, when I see Dave get involved and do all the awesome things that happen in Gaia, that to me brings satisfaction. You know, I look at, you know, Gary and say, hey, you know, this is move the ball this way. And I see that happen. And then I see the success. So it's different, but it also still brings the same gratification. So that's my favorite part, is seeing the impact either directly or through the eyes of somebody else. I mean, just you can't beat that.
And that's a perfect example, you know, of kind of like the coach with the athlete, or, you know, we talk about reproducing people that are like ourselves, or, you know, you really haven't done the full job until you have fully put yourself above or coaching someone else, and then they complete the job and they're successful, and you watch them hit the home run, and then you're like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. So there's no better thing than that. I know being married to a visionary, that's one great thing about, you know, I think his role being a program director. You mentioned a lot of things, but, you know, he gets to have some vision and say, how can we do this? And he loves that. That makes him come alive. And so that may be some part that you're like, yeah, I'm going to vicariously live through that, where I want to cast some vision, see it happen. And man, that's good when it does come together. So,
and that's the best part of PALS. You know, this group, that vision is the key term. There is no vision that we're afraid of.
Right.
And I think that's what makes us so unique and so dynamic. There's nothing that someone can tell us, hey, we want to do this, and we're going to back away from. I mean, I used to take folks rafting down the Hocking River.
Right.
People thought I was crazy. You know, take folks zip lining and rock climbing and, you know, boating. People were like, you know what? Yeah, we're going to do it. So, you know, we never backed away from any challenge. And that all comes with vision. And I think that's what makes PALS what it is.
Definitely. Wow. So tell me your favorite person to work with on your executive team.
That is a trick question.
It is a trick question.
So let me just go through my executive team. So my favorite person to work with. You know,
They
this might
probably
come as a
already know.
surprise.
They already know. So
Susan. Susan's probably my favorite person to work with.
that was smart.
No, I say that for a reason. But
Okay.
no, I mean, look, our executive team, I think about PALS, the poetic irony behind PALS
Right.
and our group who have put this together, because we truly are all pals. We're truly all friends.
Yeah.
My relationship with Aaron goes back to 6 years old. I mean, Aaron was my first friend.
Wow. Yeah.
We've never lost sight of each other in life. And it's the way that Aaron got into the field and our journey together I know it, you talk about fate, and I don't, but I do believe people are put into your life for a reason. It's just, it depends on what you do with that. There was, as Aaron and I grew up, we went to grade school together, high school together, college together, but there were parts in that life where we both all, we went our separate paths.
Right.
Here in high school, we hung out and we were together, but we also had our own separate. When we were in college, we had both ended up in Columbus, and there was a time of life where I was wrestling. He was doing things with, in his college, and we didn't see each other for about a year or two. And the story of him getting into the field was literally, I hadn't talked to Aaron in probably a year and a half, 2 years, and not because, of any reason. It's just, we were just kind of, doing our own thing. And he was working at 2 Men in a Truck. And I convinced him to quit his job to come on a camping trip with us. It was the first time I've seen him in like a year and a half, 2 years. And that we would get him a job. And it was the same job that I had as the overnight staff. And then, boom, here we go. We're both in the field, and we both follow this same progression through. So PALS, like I said, the poetic irony behind that is, it's crazy because we are all friends. So Susan's probably my favorite to work with. She's the most objective. You know exactly where she stands and what you need. So it's easy.
Yeah. You like that.
It's easy. Aaron brings such great public relations attributes. I mean, he's the mayor. He's the mayor of everywhere.
Yeah.
I've never found a person who dislikes Aaron.
That's why we invited him to the prom.
But being able to work with a guy like that, that's immeasurable. And then you have Hector. Hector's business mind and his savvy and his ability to navigate difficult situations. Hector and I went to high school together. We were actually, when we wrestled in high school, he was my wrestling partner. Like he was my practice partner.
And did you win?
That we're not talking about that. No, Hector used to whip my tail. He was older than me. He used to beat on me pretty good. But he brings this completely opposite, this different side of things. And then you have Jonah. I met Jonah when it started through PALS. But Jonah's the guy that Jonah will be there if he says he's going to be there. If I call Jonah today and is like, hey man, I'm in Pittsburgh, I got this problem. If Jonah says he's going to be there, you can always count on Jonah. Always. He's 100%. And then we added the addition of Corey, and I've known Corey since high school as well. Corey actually, and Corey doesn't know this, but Corey invited me to play in a flag football league back when we were in college. We played in that league. I actually was introduced to two of my really closest, best friends that, I played football with for a very long time. So if not for Corey, I'd have never met those guys. So, the circle of PALS it truly is what it is. We're PALS. And I think because we are truly friends, we're allowed to yell at each other. We're allowed to be very critical of each other. but it also helps us continue to move the ball forward. It is, I believe, the number one reason for our success, and
And
our ability to pass that down.
the beauty of the history that you hold allows you to be honest and still know that your relationships will still survive. So that's really special because you do want to grow, which is going to obviously come with some things saying like disagreements or help, anything worth fighting for, right, is going to be a little bit difficult at different times. So it's neat that you all have different strengths. It's neat that you've known each other for a long time so that when things do come, you're able to say, I know that like we disagree right now on this thing, but we're going to wait it out and we're still going to be friends because I know you, who you are. So that's really special.
It's super special. And just to add to that, I've never had more personal or professional growth outside of my PALS crew. When I came into the field, like I was, I ran a program myself. I ran 5. Like I know everything, but there has never been a more humbling group than this group. And I don't think personally or professionally I would ever be where I am if not for the times that these guys knocked me down and said, yo, man, no, we need to go this direction. So I owe a ton of gratitude and thanks to all of my executive team members because I've been inspired by them. They've kept me in check and I've learned from them. I've learned something from all of them. So, I give them a lot of credit for where I am today. If not for them, I'm not where I am today.
Yeah. What would you tell us is your greatest strength and greatest weakness?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Greatest strength and great. Can I call on Jonah to answer that question for me?
Sure. I think he was stepping out, but we can.
Come on, I can't unmute him.
Your greatest strength. Your greatest strength is your decisiveness. You get stuff done. You push stuff forward. You do not let stuff fester, sit, or whatever. You go straight at problems and you push it forward.
I thought that was my weakness because I usually just jump into things.
That's
right?
also your probably be your weakness too.
Thank you for the assist on that.
Do you have any questions for our audience? Do you want someone to ask something here real quick? Does anyone have something they want to ask? Do you want to know about the
please.
Elusive, mysterious Mike? We have him.
Please, who wants that? Who got something?
Come on, fire away. If not, I'm going to want you to be thinking about like a great...
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Alex.
How's it going?
It's good going, man. It's good to talk to you.
Did you got my message Wednesday?
I always get your messages.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Caitlin, what you got? I know you have a question.
Well, I miss you.
I miss you too.
I wish you could come back to PALS sometime, but we don't know when.
Yeah, we'll be back soon enough. I'm not too worried about it. We'll be back.
All right, because I miss PALS.
I know. We all do.
I must get paid.
You miss getting paid.
Right.
Don't we all?
Yeah. You know, something I was thinking about you're talking about the PALS, the irony of PALS being called PALS and that you guys all grew up together or are somehow intertwined in this life. And then how even the community that you are serving is like your PALS too. I mean, we extend family to everyone, every program and every participant and their families. So do you have any great stories of like an impactful moment, like where you get that in your gut, man, this was a good one. Like this is a good memory, this moment right here that you could share with us?
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
Okay.
I have a lot of those. It PALS and prior supports. I'll start way back when I was working with an individual in residential homes when I was a home manager. He was the Jehovah's Witness.
Mm-hmm.
When I started working in the home, they were pretty tough conditions. I remember taking him, and I don't know, 22, 23, but I remember taking him to the Men's Warehouse, and I remember getting him his first fitted suits.
Mm.
And to me, I knew how much it meant to him to go to his temple and to worship.
Yeah.
So to me, it was very important that he took pride in that as well. And I tried to support that. And I think I understood the field at that moment when I'm Catholic, I'm not Jehovah's Witness. They're completely different religions, but I was able to support his vision. And when I saw the first time I got him dressed up in his new suit, it was all fitted and cleaned up, ready to go, and saw his demeanor change and the joy in his eyes and the pride that he felt, I think is when it hit me, when I got the field, like, okay, I get it. Just because I don't, or my values don't align, doesn't mean I can't support that. And throughout all of our the philosophical approach we take at PALS, that's key. Just because our values don't align doesn't mean we can't support it. And that was an awesome moment. Going the first Kings Island trip we ever did.
Yeah.
There's individuals who've never rode on roller coasters who will say that was the first time I ever got an opportunity to do that. Thank you. If not for you, I'd have never done that. But there are just so many success stories that, I mean, I could write a book on the experiences. There's also a lot of learning experiences, so to say, where you did something wrong and you learned from it. But definitely more success stories than not.
Yeah. How do you know what's right? Like when you are looking at it can be a home, a resident, residential, it could be it can be a program. Do you just have a gut about it? Gut feel, like are you a gut person? Like I go with my gut, or do you like have a process? Like just tell us a little bit into the mind and decision making of Mike.
Yeah, there's no process.
Mm-hmm.
There was a process, it wouldn't be fun.
Right.
When it's right when the folks that we're supporting tell you it's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When the parents tell you it's right.
Right.
When people are having fun, enjoying themselves. I tell staff and as a program director, if you're not having fun, you're not in the right spot. If you're not having fun, then this isn't the right job for you. Our job is supposed to be to have fun, to be engaged, to share your interests with those that you're supporting. And when you do that, and you do that with energy, and you do that at a high level,
Right.
everything's right, because people are engaged, people are having fun.
Right.
And the day, 5 hours goes by like that, 6 hours goes by like that. Like, and you're always looking forward to the next thing. What can we do next? How far can we push this envelope? So when I see programs really pushing the envelope, Gallia County, for instance, we know that it's right. We know it's right. It might not be the sports themed program that I put together, but it's something. It's something different. It's engaged. It's pushing the community. It's pushing the envelope. It's thinking outside the box. It's being progressive. A lot of our programs are set up that way, and you look at AOTL. You look at what was designed there. AOTL went through a couple different management changes until we found what was right. But that vision always stood firm. And when you look at what the gals do down there, and you look at what they do here on PALS TV, it's amazing. The energy and enthusiasm they bring for art, and the following that they have means it's right.
Yeah.
There's an energy there. You look at Heath. The energy and following they have there. I mean, the energy that crew brings, the outside the box thinking. And for me, Heath is a tough one because I actually started that program from scratch. I got annexed to Heath for about a year. So to hand that over and have someone else put their personality and spin on it, that's tricky for me because I saw success this way. But now they're seeing success.
It was your baby.
Yeah, it was one of my little babies,
Yeah.
But now they're seeing success another way. But that doesn't mean that either way is right or wrong. It just means the entire picture is right. And Harrison County, in Jefferson County, and even in Columbus, like you see the personality of the director and the ISC and the staff start to trickle down into the program, into the direction of the program. So when you see that energy, it's right. And I know overall PALS is right. We're doing an awesome thing. And
it's almost like you don't doubt. I mean, I am this way. No one else can compete with PALS. Like if someone's looking for something in our community, there's no doubt in my mind that PALS is right for them. And that's pretty and I'm confident in saying that. I think that it's right. They offer so much. There's no way that you could be disappointed with PALS. There's just not.
No, the things we do are amazing. And our staff and our directors, our ISCs are amazing. I'm a super competitive person, if nobody knew that already. So
should we do like a little game? I don't know.
I won't even let my 10-year-old beat me in a game of basketball.
Yeah.
If I have to start dunking on him, I will. I don't even care if he cries. It's like one day you might be able to beat me, but not today. But that competitiveness does, it comes out in the sense of how much more can we do? How much harder can I push the directors and the ISCs to be more progressive? But in this group, I don't have to do that a lot. They push themselves. I don't think there's any I don't think there's anyone who does what we do the way we do it.
So do you have any big goals, like these big, what is it called? Like those big, fat, audacious goals that you maybe haven't told anyone? Like, could we get firsthand information? Like, man, my big dream would be to launch whatever.
We talking PALS goal or personal goal?
How about both?
Okay. So my big PALS goal is to be in every county in Ohio.
Yeah.
That's my PALS goal. That'd be awesome. To be able to share our vision across the state of Ohio and then move into another state, that'd be awesome. Personal goal, I think I found such peace in what we've been doing that I feel like I'm not gonna say I hit the Mecca, but I can't ask for much more than what I have. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I work with my 5 best friends. I work with an amazing group of people and directors and ISCs and staff. I get to see these amazing folks all day, every day.
Right.
When I do quarterly reviews, I enjoy them. It's a fun experience. So, personally, I'm at peace. I'm very grateful for where I am. Now, I will say I really want to win a youth football championship. Those are pretty elusive. I've been coaching my youth football team for like 4 or 5 years. I haven't won a championship yet. So that competitive side of me starting to take over. We'll keep.
Do you have them conditioning? Are they conditioning in the summer?
Yeah, I make my son run up the driveway.
But he can't win it on his own. Is the team conditioning?
I know. No, we're not allowed.
There you go.
I know.
Time for a coaching change. That's a comment. So would you be the water boy or?
If I have to do a coaching change, I don't know. I'd probably I'd stomp my feet and go to a new team.
Yeah. Yes.
I have the never say die attitude.
Okay, so what do you do to recharge? Like, we all have things, especially right now where you're quarantined, it's a little bit harder too. Everybody feels that, right? Give me a thumbs up. We're all feeling like, ooh, not our normal, so it's a little bit difficult. So we're all wondering ideas to help us recharge. Some people are introverts. You and I are extroverts. So introverts are not finding places to hide in their homes anymore. They're not getting that alone time they need. You and I enjoy people, and this is nice, but still not like
Not the same.
people.
Yeah.
So it's, how do you recharge? It can be before quarantine, like some things you do to like make yourself feel good about yourself, but then also, what have you done in quarantine to help yourself kind of recharge?
So I'm super active. So the one part of quarantine that I haven't been able, that really stinks, I haven't been able to play in any like rec football or do any like wrestling or anything like that. But my decompression time is working out. I mean,
Okay.
you guys get to hang out with my wife Shelly here the next hour. So when this whole quarantine thing happened, it wasn't go to the grocery store. It wasn't, grab a thermometer. It was, we need to get workout equipment because we're not going to be able to go to the gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the first purchase that we made. We went straight for setting up the home gym. So, my neighbors think I'm crazy because my driveway is about 50 meters and it's straight uphill.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I have a rough day, you might find me literally sprinting up the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
But to be able to release that energy for me is very habilitating.
Yeah. No,
So
that's good.
anything fitness related, that's my decompression time. And it's also my thinking time. I get yelled at a lot because Shelly asked to work out with me and I tell her no.
Yeah.
So this is my time. This is my time to work out. This is my time to think. So a good
Mm-hmm.
hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of the ISEs and program directors call me and I have my headphones in and I'll be in the gym early in the morning. And I'm like, where's all that banging going on in
Yeah.
the background in the gym? So,
Yeah.
finishing up here in 30 minutes, but I'll always answer your phone call no matter what.
And then you're like,
Hold on, let me get this set in. Hold on.
yeah.
Okay, what was that question?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
What do you need on Go Forums? I'll be right on it.
I have a friend who, she always wants to work out with her husband, and he's like, you're such a distraction. You just stare at me like I'm a piece of meat. So that's what it is. Like, you're like, Shelly, no.
No, I'm not that lucky. No. I don't get those comments.
Oh.
Hey,
Did
we have
anyone
a
come up-
special guest on here.
Okay. Let's
Someone
see.
we haven't talked to in a while. Her name's Ashley Sawan with the Transmart USA pick. Hey, Ash. Oh, she muted herself again. Ashley, do not.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear
There
me?
you are.
Hi.
What's up, Ashley?
I'm really liking this segment. How are you guys doing?
We're doing awesome. I know you have questions. That's why I saw you.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, Ash.
As you were sitting there asking them, I was really thinking of hard questions to ask Mike. But you really did a nice job asking him some good questions.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I really don't have any right now, Mike.
Can you go on camera so we can all see you? There's a lot of people on here that miss seeing you.
Yes, maybe the next hour I can go on camera. Not right now.
Next hour. Right now.
I'm good right now. Maybe the next hour.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. How's everybody
This is Mike.
doing?
Mike is driven, and he wants what he wants. So
Yeah,
he wants
Resistant
actually
beats
live.
resistance.
I know that all too well.
What's so funny, Bianca, Audrey? Why do you think that's?
Girls, do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotta unmute him. Go ahead. You guys can fire away shots.
No, it's a great quality.
Michael,
We
we're
definitely
all
agree.
we're all about the straight shooters.
Boom.
That's what Audrey and I like that.
Getting it done.
Get it done.
Yes.
All right, Ash.
We have to go back to the heart of, we know that you're just wanting the best for PALS, right? And so even though you want it right now, that's okay, right?
That's
Yes.
okay. I definitely work on short timelines.
No.
No way. Oh.
I find it motivational. Everyone likes a challenge. Like, hey, think you can get this done in 3 days?
Mhm.
Well, I know you can. All right, call me if you need me.
Mhm. Well, is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want people to know about you? You know, that question in an interview where it's like, what have I not asked you? What have you not told me about you? You're an open book.
I am an open book if you ask,
Mhm.
but if you don't ask, no.
Well, people are wanting to know if you still wrestle and if you have a singlet.
So, yes, I do have a PALS singlet.
Mhm.
For all of you who don't know, yes, I have a
And
PALS.
tell the story about using that. You were telling us you were using it for like fundraising, right?
Yeah, so when we started PALS, like 2013, 2014, there was and still goes on, there's a benefit tournament called Wrestle for Autism.
Okay.
So I entered it to raise awareness and money for Wrestle for Autism. And I had a PALS singlet made. It's pretty awesome.
That is
Actually, the last time I wrestled was
Undertaker.
about a year ago in March. I wasn't able to wrestle this year. So I every year I go and wrestle an open tournament with my youth kids. So I coach youth wrestling, and they think it's fun to bring Coach Mike to the wrestling tournament. But it's
So
also
how
for me.
how do you have time to coach like football and wrestling? How do you do all that?
David,
And
what time do I send you emails at night?
Usually after midnight sometimes. Late.
I just,
Late.
Do you sleep?
a little bit.
Do you have a wrestling name?
Do I have a wrestling name? No, but we can come up with one. That'd be fun. No,
let's
never
do
mind.
it.
That's a bad idea.
Let's do it. Let's do it. What if we never have this opportunity again, though?
Oh, I'm sure we'll have this opportunity again.
Aaron got a 2-part series. Maybe you'll get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You know, I
Or
also
we'll-
I did a triathlon once for Special Olympics.
Okay.
That was fun. So I was a Special Olympic coach, and it was the same thing. We were raising funds for Special Olympics for athletes.
Mhm.
So I volunteered to do a triathlon.
Mm.
That was one of the most difficult things I've ever done. I almost drowned during a swim. I
Why?
was going down to the bottom of the lake and kicking up just to kind of keep moving.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's completely
Not smart.
not smart. I didn't do very well. I should have trained.
Oh.
I let my
You
ego.
just,
get the best
you
of
mean
me.
you just
Like,
signed up? You didn't train? You just
no,
signed
I
up for
didn't.
it?
I was like, I got this. What's a 1 mile swim and a 30-mile bike and a 6-mile run? I can do this any day. Yeah.
Wow.
That swim hit me right off the rip.
Wow.
I had the older age divisions passing by me.
Uh-huh. That's when you knew.
It goes in divisions, so yeah, it wasn't good.
Well, I think this has been really fun, and I really appreciate you giving your time. I do know, and honestly, I'm grateful for what you do for PALS and how much you care and the time you spend. And then it sounds like you also spend a lot of time taking care of things with your family and your community. And so that definitely makes you a special person. And so I really appreciate you spending time with us today. The elusive, that has to be a part of your name. The elusive. Something.
Mysterio.
Mysterio Perio. Yes. We got it.
We got it. Just as long as I don't have to wear one of those masks. It'd be terrifying. No, I greatly appreciate it. And like I said, I was honored that you chose me to do an interview. I thank you very much for the opportunity. And I'm glad that none of the questions Dave tried to preface, you kept to yourself. I appreciate that.
That's right. I'm a professional.
Yeah, you were a professional. You were very nice.
Well, thank you so much again. I don't know. Are you closing us, or is Aaron hopping back on to get us?
Aaron's there. I just unmuted him. There he is.
Okay. We'll see what he has to say about this.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little jealous of this interview. You ask more questions, bro.
I think it's you. I gave Brooke the opportunity to ask.
Yeah.
Questions.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Way better
Keep my
than I
answer
did.
Short and concise.
No, everyone wanted to hear from the mayor. It was fine.
Right. Well, and Mike said it, you know, you're so humbled in this field, and he brought up our buddy Burl, and I'll talk about Burl real quick because he definitely meant so much to me. Being able to take him to basketball games, he was from southern Kentucky, and they love basketball down there. So I got to take him to a couple of Ohio State games and preseason NBA games, and I still carry those memories with me today. Just because of, like Mike said, taking him to get his own suit for the first time, and just having that moment, that experience with somebody just means so much. And, you know, and this was speaking to Mike. Unfortunately, you have so much good in this field, but we do deal with the struggle of loss as well. And we lost Burl 2007, and his sister, Bonnie, who was his guardian. Obviously, she was very strong in her religion as well. And with Jehovah Witnesses, you normally don't bury someone or give them a tombstone. And she felt that Mike and I meant so much to him. She allowed us to design his tombstone, and
Wow.
still have the opportunity to go there today. And it really speaks to, you know, Mike and his relationships with people, and you know how they really just evolve over time, and they're ever lasting. So
So
I love you. Well done.
real quick, you just reminded me of something. My favorite day at work was when Burrow had to go to the doctor, because when Burrow had to go to the doctor, it was him and I all day, and we always ended with a trip to Fuddruckers. Anybody, you guys remember Fuddruckers? The hamburger place? Burrow loved cheeseburgers. We would go find the biggest, fattest, cheesiest burger that we could, and that was it, man. That was heaven on earth right there. Me and Burrow all day, doctors, Fuddruckers. And Burrow had dentures, and he wasn't really good with his polydent to keep him in place. So when he'd yell at you, it would fall out, or cheeseburger would fall out. And you know, there was just such an unconditionality for Burl that you just be like, "Come here, Burl," and just put him back in there. And, all right, let's go, man. We're not gonna let that stop us eat this burger. So, you know, those were the best days of work, hanging out with Burl at doctor's appointments.
That's awesome.
I used to have a little blue Celica. It was a little 5-speed, and man, him and I would put the sunroof up, and we cruise around and wave the girls.
Cruising. That's what we need to bring back. Cruising.
Oh, it was great, man. He thought it was the best. He didn't get in and out of it very well. It's quite a low to the ground car, but we had fun.
I love seeing all the smiles during this segment. So well done, both of you. Thank you. So yeah, that wraps up our Gallia County segment. Now we'll be heading over and joining the Piro family again for Harrison County. Doing some fitness fun to start our afternoon. So come back and join us for your lunch hour here in 15 minutes. But thanks again, Brooke and Mike. Great interview.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thank you. See you later.
Awesome.